nihilism and enlightenment are kind of bleeding together today. There are all kinds of things proposed to be enlightenment that are simply nihilism. They're adoption of an extreme, that only consciousness exists. Everything happens spontaneously. It doesn't matter what you do because you have no control over it. Well, this is not enlightenment. It's an anomaly of point of view. It may not be the conventional point of view, but it's still an anomaly of point of view. So what you're talking about, nihilism, exists only in the realm of point of view. It's purely intellectual speculation. It's the reordering of points of view to try to make more sense out of them. It's a philosophy that cuts itself off from human living. It's life-denying, life-destroying, and it has no emphasis on responsibility for relationship. And any philosophy at least should have that. Any point of view philosophy should at least have that, if we're going to live from point of view. But, we don't have time to live from point of view any longer. That's what it boils down to. We don't have time. Humankind does not have time to mess around in the intellectual meandering of point of view. It's just self-indulgence. It's just more indulgence of somebody trying to make themselves into a unique somebody who has an original philosophy, an original point of view, an original theory. And every theory, it's the theory that's the be-all and end-all of all theories. And 20 years from now, it'll be totally obsolete. So where has any of this led? Nowhere, because there's nowhere to go to. So you see, when it comes to the great reality that is the reality of pure awareness, that pure awareness that is beyond cause and effect, beyond effort and achievement, we're talking about something that cannot possibly be understood in intellectual meandering. It's only an uncontrived rest. Rest is the ground of being. Rest is the essence of being, that we can get to know ourselves as human beings. And rather than being life-denying and life-destroying, pure awareness is life-giving. It's life-upholding. It's not cut off in any way from anything. It's all-inclusive. It's entirely inclusive. But again, first, we hear about these things. So first we have to show up and we have to hear about it. We have to hear that there is a reality about ourselves that is something that perhaps we did not know. Or perhaps we've been seeking it for a long time, but we haven't been able to find it. So first we have to hear a direct message, one that is relentless and can totally support us, not only in the introduction to that reality, in other words, the actual reality of this warmth I'm talking about, but also the full evidence of it coming to be. And then we have to intellectually understand that that's possible. So that's the next step. Once we understand that this is the truth about ourselves, then we can begin to recognize it in the world around us. We begin to recognize it everywhere. And as we recognize it, we realize that it's perfectly natural. It's the same way that we learned we are somebody. It's exactly the same thing. It's a natural process. When we were born, we remember nothing about when we were born because we were born as undifferentiated awareness. We didn't say, whoa, I'm a baby. I weigh 6 pounds, 10 ounces, I'm 19 inches long. We didn't have any space or dimension we were just pure space. We didn't have any time frame or measurement we didn't know what all these things were. It was just all the dynamic energy. It was like, wow, I was undifferentiated space, and now I'm undifferentiated space in this realm. And then, through constant repetition, so first, just like this, we hear about a reality that's possible, the reality that we're somebody. You're Wilson, you're Wilson, you're Wilson, you're Wilson, you're a boy, you're a boy, you're a boy, you're a boy. I'm your mom, I'm your mom, I'm your mom, I'm your dad. So, we hear this over and over and we become convinced, wow, I'm somebody. I'm not undifferentiated awareness. I'm a Wilson, somebody, and then everybody says, well, okay, Wilson, you somebody, you got to make yourself into somebody. You know, the purpose of your life is to make yourself into somebody. So this is what we hear about, and we accumulate all of these tomes of point of view about what we are. And those, we call memories. So what we are our accumulated memories of everything we've thought, all our emotional states, and all our experiences. What a living hell. No wonder everybody's so tense and ready to blow everybody else up. When we think that we are all of the emotional states we've ever had, all the thoughts we've ever had, and all the experiences we've ever had, then we're really afraid of ourselves and we're afraid of everybody else because we know we've had all kinds of thoughts and feelings we can't trust. We've done all kinds of things we can't trust. And there's no one who has ever been a totally pure and good somebody. Never. So, when we fear ourselves in that way, we fear everyone else too. And this is what we get, what we see in our world today. So you see, all of this came about through this same process, hearing about it, beginning to understand it, recognizing it, and realizing it. So we're all great realizers. We're all great realizers, no matter who we are. You see, all awareness is realizing itself as its perceptions. Awareness and awakening is not separate or apart from point of view. If we try to separate out the points of view and enter into a non-conceptual state, then we just have a point of view called a non-conceptual state. Awareness is inclusive of all its dynamic energy. Awakening or enlightenment is equal to every single perception, no matter what it is. It's the only kind of real enlightenment there is. And when there is that all-inclusiveness as one's reality, then there's the heartbeat of compassion in every single moment. Every single moment is the supreme moment. So far from it being nihilistic, nihilistic isn't even a blip in pure space. Nihilism is pure space too, just like everything else is. But you see, any place where, as a human being, we take our self-knowing awareness and we focus all of our awareness on whatever those points of view are, then that's the only angle of vision there'll be, whatever it is. And if we focus on ourselves as being somebody who's this strange stew of emotional states and a mind that's out to get us, and thoughts, and watching our behavior all the time to try to be good, but we never can quite be good enough. And then our whole life we squander. We absolutely squander because we have no idea who we really are. And who we really are, we can only know through rest. We can only know through complete rest. So it's just like sitting here in this room. There is a tangible presence, a felt sense of what's real, of what we really are. And each one of us here is experiencing that with our self-knowing awareness, an indivisible awareness, an indivisible awareness. We are experiencing that felt presence of the great reality. It's so tangible. It's right here. Awareness and that experience are inseparable. What is experienced right here is not circumstance dependent. It's not dependent on being here. But you see, what is felt and sensed here, that is natural rest. So just grow familiar with that as yourself. If you don't feel that when you go somewhere else today, rest and remember that you are that. You are that. You are that which is not circumstance dependent. So, you can search high and low everywhere, high and low. But if you're in India searching and looking for something, you're just going to find that big thing. you found it. And it's sitting in that chair. If you're going to run around and keep looking for something to make you into a different kind of somebody, then it's not going to happen. It's all resting right here as the essence of your being. And really, all there is to do is make sure that you rest as that, and that you support yourself by being around other people who aren't all caught up in taking themselves to be somebody. Strengthen yourself in the reality of what you are, and then you'll be able to be anywhere, unimpeded, because pure space is unimpeded. But there may be a transition phase. Maybe there won't be. Some people come here and boom, that's it. But because, see, this tension that many feel, it's just the tension of trying to be somebody, that's all. Of trying to make sense out of all these thoughts and feelings and experiences. But all the thoughts and feelings and experiences, they're the dynamic energy of awareness. But if we're only focusing on the thoughts and feelings and experiences as being something, then we're not resting as the essence of that thought, feeling, and perception. When we rest as the essence of everything going on, then we understand it all. We understand it all. It's easy. Our life is easy. We don't have a long face anymore. A friend of mine calls it a poopy face. We don't have a poopy face anymore. We realize who we are, and we become shining. Shining. This is our natural state. Poopy faces aren't our natural states.